Okay. Shadi carrier. Shadi is a Persian name, or is also an Indian name as well? No, I think Shadi in Hindi, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, it means celebration, wedding or something, right? Happiness, which means pretty much the same in Farsi. Shadi says, "Hi Mehran, it's Shadi here, 35 male." Oh, okay. 35 male from the UK. Hello, Shadi. Haven't been on here in a while. I just wanted to hear your views on moving forward. Okay. Shadi says, I was with someone for 10 years. It ended horrifically with how she treated me. It took me years to get over it. And after an insane amount of work on myself, I met the love of my life. Hold on, Shadi. Before you call her love of your life, I think you need to watch the video that I uploaded last night. It's called The Love of Your Life. Do you know her? I don't know if you've watched it or not. It just came out. And so please watch that after this here. Let me see if I can actually put the link in for you. I'll put the link for anybody. It's on my Facebook page. It's already there. But I want you guys to take a look at it. Something food for thought. And I'm sure people like you who are here would enjoy this. Definitely.
Here are the 5 key superfoods that...
So let's get rid of this. There we go.
What you been
All right, there's the link. I want you guys watch this when this is over, when our talk is over. So Shadi continues and says, I met the love of my life. 3 months ago, after 5 years together, that ended in the same way. And now I feel very different to before. I neither have the energy nor the strength to move forward. She meant everything to me. Why? Why? Why do you guys think somebody that you go between her legs suddenly is everything that life has to offer? Which means you think your desire for intimacy is everything that you're here for. Which means you are a slave to your desire, which is an instrument your ego uses to fluff itself. So if you can understand the relationship between ego and desire and pleasure, then you will understand that what you're enslaved, how you're enslaved, and what is controlling you within you. And until you understand that, you cannot be free, and you cannot find your happiness and freedom with a relationship, with sex, with whatever else it is, until you understand what makes you tick and how you can become the master of yourself versus your thoughts, consciousness, fears, desire, and ego. If you cannot understand how to be the top dog among all these that I called, or at least understand how they function and how they interrelated and affect your life and make you move, do things, and be affected, feel, act, react, you won't be able to enjoy life. And you will always be at the mercy of somebody else's way of making you feel a certain way that you feel pleasure because of that feeling, and you become dependent on that, which then it makes you feel, that's when you will feel free. Therefore, your freedom becomes conditional to the whims and wishes of that person or that thing that you're addicted to, or think that it's controlling your happiness, or your happiness is dependent on it. That's no way of being independent. That's no way of experiencing life, freedom. So the problem is not in you as a person. There's nothing wrong with you. What's wrong is that you don't understand how to control the stuff that is trying to control you within you. Fear, ego, desire, thoughts, consciousness, your programming, your conditioning. If you understand all that, none of these breakups would hurt you ever again, because you become free, independent of what else can give you pleasure to turn you into a slave of that whatever provides that pleasure, which you think is where your life is at and your freedom is at. You become an independent person. You become one with the universe. You become powerful. You will stop being a slave to another human being or anything. You will be part of the whole big picture, part of the nature, part of the power, part of the way to understand yourself better and know what you're connected to, rather than thinking your psychological security comes with being connected to another human being who has the same needs and fears and concerns that you have. But the pleasure that you receive on physical levels, it makes you feel like that girl is more powerful than you. No, it is your own pleasure that makes you feel that you don't have power, because you can get that pleasure through interaction with another person, and you think that girl has got the power. No, it's your desire that has got the power, not the girl. Because you change the girl and you have the same kind of intimacy with another pretty wonderful girl, meets your standards, then again you are hooked on that girl. So it's not the girl, it's the actual desire and the pleasure that is playing a role in you thinking that it is the girl that is in power. So you're devastated when she leaves. But what's devastating you is your desire for the pleasure that you receive from these girls that you have a relationship with. You gotta understand that. There's another video that I have that is called, Where Does the Breakup Pain Come From? Where does the breakup pain come from? I want you all watch that if you haven't. I want you to all watch that if you haven't. And let me also find that for you.
When scent is carried through mist, it stays.
Stop here. These advertisements on every channel that I go. So, here it is. Hang on, guys. Where does break up pain come from? All right. There we go. And there is the this one that you should watch. And there's nothing wrong with you, Shadi. Shadi, what did you do? You sent money. Well, okay. Everybody's invited for tea or coffee. Now we have money. So I want you to watch these two, and then if you are in a position, you have a good job and you can afford it, do go on my site mind@seekstruth.com. Book a Skype appointment. And at this point, I have put a special deal for everybody who makes an appointment. Up to 1 hour appointment, I'll double it. If you have a 15 minutes, I'll give you 30 minutes. If you book for 30 minutes, I give you 1 hour. And if you book for 1 hour, I give you between 1.5 to 2 hours. Up to 1 hour increment of that sort, I'll do that. I want to make sure that everybody has access to such consultation. And so if you feel you need to and you can do that, then do that. Make an appointment. We'll chat on Skype one-on-one, and we'll get you out of this mess that you've created for yourself, because there's nothing wrong with you. There is nothing wrong with any of you. It's that you guys don't understand how powerful that program that we have in our genes for procreation is. We're just running around for girls, especially when you're so young, and we don't understand that you have the right to choose and qualify. And even when you find the one that you really pleasurable and you hit it off and everything is good in that relationship, that does not mean that that is the entirety of your life. You cannot place the entirety of your life, entire opportunities of this life has to offer, and the things that you need to experience and learn, and the aspirations and goals and things that you want to accomplish, and the way you want to express your gratitude to the universe and nature, and affect the communities and the societies and the world in general in a positive way, through another girl, through a relationship, whatever your relationship is. You cannot do that. It's just not the same. What has given you life and given you the opportunity to be in this playground of earth, life in the way we see it, physical life, is far bigger than one of the other fragments who have had the opportunity to be in this life. So in other words, you cannot call and consider another human being, in your case another girl, to be your God, to be the creator of this, to be more valuable than this whole experience of life, just because you can get between her legs and feel, and then you, at that point, you have no concern about responsibilities, duties, bills, economics, things you got to do, things you got to learn. At that moment of ecstasy and climax and interaction, intimacy with her, you have no idea, even no awareness of yourself, your own existence. And it's like nothing exists, no responsibility, no pain, no concerns, no challenges, and even you don't feel you're aware of yourself. It's all about that emotion and feeling, which is amazing, right? But that's why you feel that girl, which through intimacy with her, you got to the point of feeling that there is no responsibility, nothing, no challenges in this life, and you feel free, and you feel you don't even know you exist. At the same time, everything is perfect. So you become nothing, and at the same time, everything is perfect. That's the moment of the climax and the experience of intimacy, right? That's why you think being there is through her. And suddenly you think she's the actual most important thing in life. You identify her with the feeling of freedom that you receive at that moment, which actually takes you away from all your concerns in life, including financial, including responsibilities, including exams, including misfortune, including everything, because you're in the moment that nothing exists, and yet everything is perfect. And then you think that's life. And that's why you think she's so important. So when you lose her or miss her or she leaves or whatever the hell happens, you think you're devastated. You think life has gone, because you interpreted that moment that you're with her in that intimacy moment to be the meaning of life. It's not. It's just one fragment of this whole experience of life. And don't make that mistake. Don't make her to be your God. Therefore, don't make your pleasures to become your God, which they would control you, and therefore don't make your desires for pleasure to become your deity, your God, which in turn you think of it as bigger than life itself. And then you become devastated when you lose it because you think, there's nothing else. You thought of it as bigger than life itself, so therefore you lost the whole life. Then you feel devastated. But it's not true. Change your attitude toward it. It was just a sexual experience, a relationship, a girl, another type of a relationship, and there's a lot more availability out there which could suit you even better. Simple. Just because she changed her opinion about the relationship, that doesn't mean anything is changed in you. Yeah, it doesn't devalue you. It's just a reflection on her. As I explained before, somebody likes an apple doesn't make apple more valuable in the whole general idea of value in life. And if somebody doesn't like an apple, doesn't make apple suddenly lose its interest in the world and nobody else likes it. The value of apple stays the same, whether you like it or not. You like the spaghetti, as I talked about the spaghetti a long time, and it's a famous thing right now, I guess. You like a spaghetti, doesn't make spaghetti any more delicious. You don't like a spaghetti, doesn't mean that spaghetti is not delicious and other people will stop eating it. No, it makes no difference to spaghetti. The spaghetti is what it is. It doesn't make any difference to apple, whether you like it or you don't like it. It doesn't make any difference to you whether she likes to continue a relationship and like you or not like you. It's her choice, but doesn't change you. You are the same person that one day she liked. So were you being more valuable then? And now that she doesn't like, you're less valuable now? No, you're the same person. She is changing. You're not changing in value. She's changing in value, in interest, in standards, in whatever it is that evolving in her psyche, which sees and perceives things and life and values differently. And that has nothing to do with you. That has nothing to do with spaghetti. Spaghetti is still delicious. Nothing to do with apple. Apple is still nutritious. Hey, we rhymed. So, understand, your life is far more valuable and powerful than a pleasure from a relationship. I don't care how long it was. And all you liked her because everything was accommodating you. That's it. Otherwise, what was she all about? What could else she do for you? What? Was she paying the rent for you? Was she helping you learn things, experiencing life, cure your common cold? What was it that she was bringing that suddenly she's... All it was accommodating you to fulfill your desires, fluff your ego through fulfilling your desires. That's it. Comfort, pleasure. But you made it a big deal because you have to make a big deal out of her. Why? Because if you make a big deal out of the choice that you're making, girl that you are with, you feel you're more valuated. You feel you're more elevated. And your ego makes you think that she's was all that. Because if you make her all that, then you are all that. It's all about selfishness, ego, and perceiving and bringing illusions of grandeur for yourself through putting somebody else that you are in relationship on pedestal, because in fact you're putting yourself on pedestal. And you got to get beyond that. Stop having images. All has happened is the image you had in your mind is now changed. The image you had of yourself in your mind is now changed because you don't have the image of being with a girlfriend or someone who would attend to you or do whatever it is that she was doing. So that's the image that is now changed, and you think you identified yourself with that image. Now that the image is changed, you're lost. Oh, somebody took my image. Well, make another image. You're the image maker. The image is illusion. You create these images as you go along the day. You know that. We talked about it before. You go to a store, you're an image of a shopper. You work in a store, you're an image of a clerk. You get on a bus, you have an image of a passenger. You drive a bus, you're an image of a bus driver. You're in this classroom, you're an image of students. You teach a class, you're an image of a teacher. You're with your parents, you have an image of a daughter or son. These images are what our mind seeks refuge in it and creates an identity for us. And these images are what we choose to interact and negotiate life as we go along, different roles that we play. Simple. So what has hurt here is the image that you had of yourself in your mind through this time that you were in a relationship. And now that image is changed, and little later on, just like the one before, you will have another girlfriend and your image changes again. And you say, I didn't even want to care about this one because that's new image, I like it better. These are just images. Nothing has happened to you. You're perfectly fine. And stop thinking of yourself as an instrument of somebody else's throwing you a line of pleasure so you'll feel good about yourself. You are perfect. You are complete. You just need to learn to understand the relationship between all these things that make you feel the way you feel and act and react the way you do, and understand more about life and its opportunities and how great it is far bigger and stronger and has a lot more to offer you than this girl did or this relationship did. So please, get off your ass and go and live your life and build your life to something. Stop just looking at life the way you look at your thingy down there for pleasure. That's where all these thoughts and feelings are the way you are thinking now. Stop that. All right. I hope that it was something for you to think about.